I think we've just gotten word here that we do have Alicia Lucas on the blower. We may as well just get straight into it. Alicia, Quirky, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're living the dream. We're living the
Good.
dream. Congratulations. I mean, you announced your retirement just a matter of days ago. Such a storied career, picking up the game about 10 or so years ago, and in that time winning a World Sevens series as well as an Olympic gold medal, and then pulling the boots back on again this year after giving birth to your little baby girl, Tilly. It's been a hell of a ride. I mean, how do you feel being retired now?
Yeah, it has been a hell of a journey, that's to say the least. I'm a bit of a mixed bag at the minute. It's been a roller coaster like last week. I'm pretty content though at the minute to be retired and not have been at training today. Um, but yeah, I'm a little bit all over the shop, obviously, like a little bit disappointed in a way that I didn't get to have that one last game with Tilly, in the stands watching me. But also then I'm just so proud that I came back and gave it a crack after having her and facing all of the obstacles to come back to professional level sport after having a baby as well. And yeah, so it's a mixed bag to say the least.
How was coming back after having a little one to rugby in that intense sort of environment and all that?
Oh, it was honestly the hardest thing I have ever done. It was like it was ridiculous. There's no obviously the full-time training in itself is so intense, and I'm used to being in that environment. And then as soon as you go home, you go on the beach or you're lounging on the couch or you're bumming and doing nothing. Whereas when you've got a little baby, when I first started, I was, breastfeeding or pumping in between trainings,
Oh,
and then even now, like I'm coming back home and I'm okay. We're going to the park. We're going to the beach. We're doing something active to keep her busy. We're cooking dinners and we're just on the absolute go. So it's been a huge juggling act. With having her as well. But also, I was out of the game for nearly 2 years, and in that time, the physicality and like speed and strength of the girls increased tenfold. So not only was I playing catch up from just pregnancy, like I was playing catch up from like that period of time where they didn't play footy. So all they did was like just gym and train and
so
smash each
just
other. So like
giants.
it was next level. Yeah. I was already at a weight disadvantage pre-baby, and here I was coming up against these girls that were just incredible athletes. Like they went from girls to incredible athletic women in that time. So
Yeah.
I was just gobsmacked at actually how hard I had to work, even harder this time round to even like physically compete.
Jeez.
And obviously, it's Alicia. It's pretty fresh. So obviously, you've just retired. But what's next? Is it? Do you want to stay in rugby? You know what I mean, or professional sport, or is it kind of getting completely out there and trying something completely new?
I think I've always wanted to dabble in the coaching side of things or give back to the game in some way after it gave me unlimited opportunities. So I think coaching would be something that would be really cool, or whether it's just like a skill specific coach. I don't know if I'd want to be the head coach. Some of those gigs are really, really tough. So just, be like a little celebrity spot coach here and there would be great. But I think also I did a little bit of commentary with JBor as well, and I love that side of it too, and just giving your opinion piece here and there, and um, analysing the game and adding my point of difference, which was my knowledge and analytical side of the game to a viewer's perspective as well. That would be really cool to get involved into. I'm a physio by trade, so um, I could just strap a few people here and there, but I'm not really too sure. I've got a few options there, and looking to explore a few of those, but in the interim, just enjoying some quality family time for the next week or so before we jet back off to Japan.
How was playing in the Japanese rugby over there? Was it just club?
Yes, I played in the club competition, did like the back end of their 15s training, and then did like some of the domestic preseason tournaments, and it was awesome. They are the hardest trainers I have ever met,
Fast and skillful.
and like fast, skillful, and like training starts at 5. They're there at 4 o'clock doing their own individual skills off their own bat. Like they're just working so hard all the time, and they're some of the loveliest and most welcoming people ever. And I remember saying to my husband when I played my first tournament there, saying like, if this is it, like if this is all I ever get back to, I am so happy, because it was unreal. The level of support they've showed me, and just also like the quality of the game and how much fun I had playing. That it was an awesome group of girls to be a part of in that transition back as well.
Well, Quirky, we were literally just discussing the recent score from the Wallaroos Black Ferns match over the weekend. The girls unfortunately went down pretty heavily to the Black Ferns over in New Zealand, and we were just saying that there's obviously a huge gulf in the standard of women's rugby, in particular 15s in the world game, between the professional sides, and then you've got your amateur or semi-pro sides like the Wallaroos are, compared to, say, the Black Ferns or England and France. I mean, I want to get your thoughts on this. Obviously, you were there during the golden age, I guess, of women's Aussie Sevens. Started debuting in 2013. As I said, 15-16, you won that World Series and the gold at the Rio Olympics in 2016. So you've been there for what has been the most fruitful time. What can we do to try and help supplement that 15s game, to try to get it to that professional standard that all the other women's games seem to be really getting to and actually excelling at?
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned like that fruitful time, because that came off the back of pure investment from Rugby Australia. People putting their hand up and putting their money in their pockets, and identifying players that have potential and are going to add greater value to the game, and backing them, centralising a program and training day in, day out as their profession. So it's a proven that it works from people that never had played rugby before, let alone girls, say, that are in the 15 side that play domestically around Australia, in both Queensland and New South Wales particularly, that are the strongest states for where the 15 side of the game is going. There has to be that level of professionalism or semi-professionalism that is happening, that you see with other professional sports in Australia, like NRLW and AFLW, and you're seeing that return on investment is giving them a greater product that they can sell and commercialise, and then also is then returning bums on seats, and people are wanting to watch it because the quality is just improving year in, year out. And I know, for example, like League, they're adding another 4 teams next year. So that's another 120 girls that are going to be going and playing League as their full-time, well, as their part-time, job, but as their main sport. And so that's just draining product and quality from Rugby Australia. And so we have to do something for that side of the game, whether it be professionalise the Super W of what it is, or put more propaganda and marketing and funding into that side of the game to make it a product that is, more commercially viable. So, because obviously, as we all know, money is the driver for a lot of stuff happening, and especially more so in the women's game. But there's got to be something that's done that matches that, and pushes the level of what rugby can offer as an international game and also domestic game, and pushes that more to the forefront of people's eyes. So girls are going, hey, I want to choose that over something else, or at least that's competitive and I can choose an option that it's not just, oh, that pays me more, or whether I like rugby or not.
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest thing for me, from what I've seen has worked for me, and I've been a part of something that worked for a long time and is still continuing to work. You're delivering. These Sevens girls are now the best in the world, and that's going to continue happening. But that's only 15, 16 girls that get a Aussie Sevens contract.
Yeah.
You need to be giving more out to the girls below that in like that
100%.
Aussie A type program, and then you also need to be giving something to the Wallaroos and to the girls in that Super W competition to make them more competitive, and get them the resources that they need for that. And then that way you get the girls then giving back more to the game as well, from putting more effort in and wanting to be there more because they're getting something for their time.
I shot myself on the weekend when I saw, I think it's Jessie Southwell, is it? Jessie Southwell?
Mm-hmm.
Playing for the Knights and scoring an insane try. And I'm like, is she 17? Or something like that. I'm like, another one.
Yep.
Seriously. Is she? I'm not sure what her scenario is or situation, but bloody hell, if we keep losing players like that, that's just a massive hit, isn't it?
It is. And it's funny you actually said,
Huge
sorry, Quirk, I don't mean to cut you off. It's funny you actually said that, it's not just the money side of things. It's, as you said, pump some propaganda out there. I mean, we had Grace Hamilton on here a couple of months ago, and she literally said she played, 1 or 2 games for the Sydney City Roosters NRLW side, just having a trundle with them and all that sort of stuff. And in her town of, I think it's Orange, she got recognised for playing for the Roosters and not being the captain of the Wallaroos. No one gave a shit about the Wallaroos, but she played 2 games for the Roosters and everybody shit their pants over it. So, I do appreciate we can do a hell of a lot
100%.
more to get the word out about the women's game and not just put a bit of cash in the back pocket too.
No, their marketing strategy is unreal. Like we went down to the NRLW game on the weekend, and there's the music, the hypes, the flames. Like there's flames coming out as they run out of the
just
field.
engage well.
And it just engages the fans. Tilly's got a sign that says "Go the Dragons," like the women's Dragons, and the music and everything. It's just entertaining, and it draws people into more than just like the game. The whole spectacle is awesome. And that's what we need to align the women's game with, like the Super Rugby when they do that, and have, the women Super W sevens play beforehand, or the Super W play beforehand, week in, week out, and it's just like a whole product of you represent New South Wales, and the propaganda around that is epic. Like you're on buses and your faces are everywhere, and you're just blowing up on social media because it's just constant. And that way people think like, wow, the sport really values me. They're happy to promote me. They want me to be the face of XYZ. And it, like, you feel loved and a part of that. And that's awesome. Like, you're not fighting your media marketing to, like, get the game times right. Like, you're not doing stuff like that. It's just innate.
Don't start.
Don't get it started.
Don't get it started. Oh.
You guys know.
I'll bite my tongue.
Yes.
I want to take it back to you a little bit, Alicia. Obviously, you've had a fair career. Talk us through, probably the highlight of your career, and then also tell us a little bit about, some of the characters you played with, and some of those people that you'll miss the most.
Highlight. I think probably two. In my pre and post baby career. Pre Tilly, obviously, the highlight would have to be the gold medal in Rio. That stands alone as one of the most awesome moments in my life. It was just absolutely epic. And then I think post Tilly, a few highlights in that was probably like my first day back at training, back in the Sevens fold. It was unreal experience, and like, kind of saying to myself, like, I've still got it. I can still play. Like, how good's this? And then I think probably the first game that I played over in Japan, and she came along and watched, and I saw the kickoff, and she was standing on the sidelines, and she ran onto the field, and Matt had to like run off and grab her, and I was like, how cool is that? Like she's running on to be a part of it, or running on to see her mum, and here I am, like, about to like put a hit on or something. I was like, that. Who am I kidding? I wasn't. And but like that moment was just unreal. And then like afterwards, having her like smothered by the Japanese girls, and you're sitting around doing recovery with her, dancing the circle amongst everyone, like that was pretty special. and it would have to be a huge highlight for me.
Nice.
That's so lovely. That's. I thought you were going to say. Oh, sorry, Quirky. I was just going to say.
Sorry, I forgot the part 2 of the question.
Oh yes, the characters.
Yes, we did too.
Who are some of the best characters?
Probably. Best, obviously, you couldn't go past Ellia Green, and then probably more recently, one of my best friends is Dom DeToit, but obviously the main character that is my favourite is Dom DeTwat.
Yes, the Kook Queen.
Yeah,
Yes.
she is probably one of the weirdest humans I've ever met in my life. But one of the best humans ever, and her like quirkiness and weirdness and just she's one of a kind, but one of the best kind too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. No, I think we had Demi Hayes on here a couple of weeks ago. I asked if she was as big a kook as it comes across as. She confirmed that as well. So it's good to know. Good to know. I was actually going to say...
it's a universal confirmation.
Yeah. Glorious. I was actually going to say, would your third best highlight be commentating with myself doing a few QPR games? I would have thought you'd say that, Quirky, but that's all Google. That's like.
Oh no, that's in my side career. Sorry.
Oh yes,
It's the
sorry.
same.
Ugh.
It's the same.
Sorry, hard to distinguish. But what you touched on Ellia Green just before, Quirky. So it came out just over the last week that Ellia has come out as a trans man, just saying that post-career he actually had some really dark times and obviously missed out on that the Tokyo squad, and he actually said just locked himself in a dark room for the longest time and was just saying that he hopes the announcement would help others to feel comfortable enough to make decisions about who they want to be, saying that he had suffered from serious mental health issues since retiring from the sport last year. Obviously, this is a very touchy subject, but it's a huge relevant topic in the world of not just rugby, but just the world in general at the moment. But you must be over the moon to be able to hear that Ellia has come out and been able to, I guess, help spread the message for any other trans athletes out there and to maybe find a little bit of peace within themselves in regards to their own personal struggles.
Oh, most definitely. He has been incredibly resilient and incredibly brave with coming out with that announcement. I know it was a huge decision for him to be able to do that publicly, but knowing that the battles that he had faced on his own, he didn't want someone else to have to face them either, and hopefully could provide some support and comfort for someone that was going through the same thing. And I think that's hugely important in that mental health space as well, that people can be vocal and can be open and honest with their feelings. And for me, he has provided so much happiness and joy to so many people throughout his whole life, and to me in particular as well. And so whatever makes him happy makes me happy. And for him to have found some peace with that, then that is the most important thing, I think.
And it's incredibly brave to do it on the world stage, to have such reverence within, the rugby community, but also the Pacific Islander community, to be able to come out and announce this and try to help other people that may be going through the same thing. It's absolutely immensely brave to be able to do so.
Oh, 100%. And I think I'm just so proud of him that he could do that, and he found that strength in himself to be able to do that, because it's not his job to do that as well, either. So it's fantastic that he has been able to do that, and it hopefully has helped him as well in doing so. So yeah, it's just proud, honestly, just so proud.
You can see how much it means to you, Quirky. Well, one last thing. Yeah, obviously, this weekend we've got the final round of the HSBC Sevens. The girls are absolutely killing it. I mean, I think they've already locked it up, I assume. But then we've got the Sevens World Cup next month as well. I mean, the women's game, well, not just the women's, but the men's is doing very well as well. But the women's game in particular is just such a shining light for the game here in Australia. And if they can actually go for the three-peat, go the Com Games, lock up that World Series Sevens, and then actually win a World Cup, that's got to be on par with that gold medal in 2016. I mean, it's got to be a huge highlight for the girls to be able to chase that dream.
Yeah, it is enormous, like absolutely enormous. And the girls have already wrapped up the World Series,
Yep.
and the men are playing this weekend in the last round of the World Series, and it's the first time ever too that the Australian men's sevens have been in contention to win a World Series, like which is massive for the whole game of sevens, and to put them on in the limelight of like being awesomely consistent this whole season, which is so good for them. But to trump that, the three-peat would be absolutely epic. And there's probably no team more deserving than those girls right now. Like, obviously, coming back and being amongst them and training so hard, like the hardest I've ever trained. Ever. Like, I don't know what Tom Carter's gone away and just decided he's just going to make people run. And I thought we ran with Craig. We run. And, like, it is ridiculous how much we are doing right now. The crunning is real, the term that the girls have come up with, crying, running, or crying, vomiting, and running. It's like not even a joke. That's actually what it's like at the minute. So I think it's a true testament for how much work that they've put in. And I think that was probably the hardest thing for me, not being involved in that 12 going away, is because I just know that they're going to win. And I just want to win.
Get the W.
That is honestly how good they're doing at the minute. And it's going to be awesome for the game if they can finalise the three.
Bloody oath. Well, we'll be cheering them on, that's for sure. Also, we saw your partner, Matty, just lining up for the Marlins on the weekend, going down, unfortunately, to Eastwood. Is he at Mad Monday at the moment, or...?
No, he's actually on daddy duties. He probably wishes he was at Mad Monday.
Bloody
but
oath he would.
We had to trump Mad Monday for this podcast. So
Thanks, Matty.
Yes. Yes. Matty Lucas coming through for the boys. Bless him. Absolutely awesome.
I can hear the bubba in the back.
yeah.
It sounds like is he cooking dinner? What's he cooking for dinner?
He actually is. He's got some snapper fillets on the
grill.
So,
very well
What a
trained.
man. What a man.
He could be winning Hat of the Year. Yeah.
Shit. Hope my missus isn't watching. Bloody hell. No, I'm all right. Anyway, Quirky, look. I mean, what was it? 34 events, 186 matches for Australia, 9 years in the green and gold jersey, a little baby girl. You have done absolutely anything and everything there is possibly to do in a rugby career, and you should be immensely proud. So enjoy your retirement and all the best with whatever happens in the future. Hopefully we can commentate again sometime soon, but all the best with everything.
Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll hold you to that.
Bloody oath. Cheers, Quirky.
Quirky.
Alicia Lucas, everybody.